Good morning from the dining area of La Spezia Centrale and welcome to another trip report. This time on the intercity train in Italy from La Spezia Centrale to Milano Centrale. These are the lowest ranked long distance trains in Italy. These are not the high speed trains. I will tell you more about this in the video. In this video I'll show you the railway station of La Spezia Centrale. I show you the train and some views from the train, of course. For now, let's roll the intro. Before I start this video, if you're interested in other trip reports I did, below the description of this video on YouTube you find a link to a map, and on this map you find all trip reports I did. The train and ferry icons do indicate the railway station and ferry terminal reviews, and the lines do indicate the routes. This channel is mainly focusing on long distance and international train and ferry traveling. Of course, you can also find the videos on this channel, and if you want to be sure you don't miss anything, just hit the subscribe button. Right in front of La Spezia Centrale there's a busy street, and within this street you will find most buses. There are trolley buses in La Spezia and they will depart from here. You can walk via this galleria, what's by the way also the entrance and exit for people traveling by car, and park their car in the parking garage, to the upper part where you find the railway station. And as you can see over here, there's a big line. Well, I have to explain this. La Spezia is not an important railway junction. The city itself, it's not that touristic, but it's the gateway to Cinque Terre. These are 5 beautiful villages along the coast and in the mountains that are a part of the UNESCO World Heritage. We also spent some days over here and we swam a bit, we did some hikes in the mountains, enjoyed good foods. Well, basically, we were being the typical tourist. And the reason why it's so busy, because there are no cars allowed in these 5 villages. Well, actually only people who live here can go there by car, as far as I know. So the train is by far the best option to just go there. Because the train is the best option to go there, and we spent some time over here, I will make a dedicated kind of travel video, travel vlog about the Cinque Terre region. For this video I'll be showing you the railway station of La Spezia Centrale, and I will show you the trains, the intercity trains that run between here and Milan. Apart from the bus stop at the lower level I just mentioned, right in front of the railway station there's also a bus stop and a taxi stand. We arrived here with a Freccia-Bianca train and I also made a video about that. If you're entering the railway station from the front, there are these screens. You find some vending machines, and these screens will host information about both departing and arriving trains. Just make sure you look at the right screen, because one moment I almost looked at the wrong screen. La Spezia is not located on a high-speed railway line. However, you will find the semi-high-speed Freccia-Bianca trains. Those trains will run between Genova and Rome. Apart from that, you will find the intercity Notte. These are the sleeper trains of Trenitalia that will run between the north of Italy and Sicily. The intercity will be taken to that, and you will find an awful lot of local trains from and to here. So, even though it's not on a high-speed line, it's not an important railway junction, you find trains to lots of places from here. With so many people queuing up, you might expect there's something really special you can buy at the Cinque Terre point. And well, yes, there is. You can buy the Cinque Terre card. I will tell you more about that in the Cinque Terre video, and also how to avoid these lines. At platform 1 there are some small shops as well, and if you move more towards the direction of these shops, more or less at the same part as where you find at the front the entrance to the booking hall, there are some more shops and also vending machines. And here's my general advice for if you're traveling. Just look a little bit further. Many times, lots of people might be queuing up one spot, but this is because nobody looks further and they think like, oh, if there will be other places where I can buy tickets, then other people would do it probably as well. No, that's exactly why there are so many people standing at specific vending machines, and others, well, they're just free. I recorded this right after I shot the part what I just showed you with the vending machines that were not being occupied. And sometimes these lines were going out of the railway station. Over here is, by the way, the booking hall. There are some ticket counters as well, some more vending machines where you can buy tickets, and there are some screens just like at lots of spots within the railway station, where you'll find digital departure information about trains. There are also some old-fashioned timetables, and well, from the booking hall you can go both to the front of the railway station and towards the platform, and there's a small waiting room over here as well, as you can see. Apart from the shops, at the platforms there are some vending machines where you can buy some snacks and drinks as well. This might be useful especially for if you're taking a sleeper train from or to here, because everything else might be closed at that moment. A restaurant is also located within this railway station. It's not very stunning though, but it's a good place for breakfast. We also had breakfast here at the moment we took the train. You can enter this restaurant both from track number 1 and the front of the railway station. A tunnel will link the tracks to the front of the railway station, and track number 1 is directly accessible. There are no escalators over here, but you will find elevators for people traveling with mobility problems. In my experience, the intercity to Milan does mainly depart from track number 1. But please always check timetables and announcements. Before you enter the platforms at this railway station, small screens will host basic route information, and at the platforms themselves there are small screens that will host route information as well. Announcements are being made in, of course, Italian, but also in English. And here at the background at track number 1 is our train for today. Today's train consists of 2 locomotives, one at the front and one at the back, and these are the Italian FS class E414. You find this mainly on Freccia-Bianca trains, but also on some intercity trains. Actually, I think this is a former Freccia-Bianca train. At the side, at the carriages, you will find route information screens, and of course at the platform you'll also find information about the specific route. There are 2 different classes within these trains, first and second class, but I will show you this in a bit. At the side it has been clearly written where the first and the second class is, and at the entrance doors the carriage numbers have been written as well. Tickets for these trains do always include a seat reservation. However, I was not able to spot a composition screen at the platform. Maybe I just didn't look good. On Italian intercity trains there is no dining car. A trolley service is available on most routes though, but if you want to be sure, just buy something in advance. On the Freccia long distance trains you will find dining cars though. Since I entered the train at the starting point, what is La Spezia, and it was not that busy yet, I could do a proper walk-through of the train. And I'll start off right here at the front with the toilets. Well, this is how the toilets look like. They're pretty simple but pretty fine. One thing about Italian trains, at least about this kind of rolling stock, the toilet seats automatically do pop up. This is perfect for if there are some people who don't know really how to hit the target. And in this case I mean especially men. The first class comes in a 2x1 configuration, so 2 seats on one side of the aisle and 1 seat on the other side of the aisle. The seats are wider as in the second class, you have more space, but there's no extra service over here. Typical something for Italian trains, most seats do face each other. Although there are also some seats that do come in an airline style or long distance bus composition, personally I like this most. For these seats there's a table you can fold out in the seat in front of you. It's quite steady, I have to say. At the side there's a small garbage can, and integrated within this garbage can you will find power plugs. The seats can all be reclined by the use of the handle that's a little bit hidden under the seats. The other first class seats that do face each other do have a bigger table in between you can fold out. Also within these garbage can a power plug has been integrated, and if you have the seats that do have 4 seats that are facing each other, there's also a power plug near the aisle. Integrated within these luggage racks you will find a reading light, and the seat number has also been written over here. Of course you can store quite a lot of luggage in the overhead luggage racks, but there's also a lot of space for luggage between the back ends of these seats. Between the first and the second class there's another kind of carriage. This is second class though. However, this is also an accessible car, so people traveling in a wheelchair can also use it over here. Therefore, you also find an accessible toilet, and this toilet can be turned into a nursery space for babies as well. Apart from that, over here you find some spots where you can park bikes. I don't know the exact rules for taking bikes on these trains, but I'm pretty sure you need to reserve them. This section of the second class comes in a 2x1 configuration, so there is just more space for people traveling in a wheelchair or if you have a buggy for young children. I think this used to be the former dining car as well. And in the Freccia-Bianca trains there is a dining car. I did a video on a train that was more or less on the same route, but that was from Marseille to Milan, and the section Genova-Milan is the same route. And those interiors were basically the same. Unfortunately, the railway company Tello that operated these Eurocity trains has stopped their services after COVID. Hopefully they will relaunch their services. They had a great sleeper train between Venice and Paris and Eurocity trains between Marseille, Nice and Milan. The second class comes in a 2x2 configuration and most seats do face each other. At the middle of these compartments there are some extra luggage racks, but of course you also find the overhead luggage racks like everywhere within these trains. Like I mentioned a bit earlier, at the doors you will find the carriage numbers, and there are some screens, as you can see right over here, that should indicate the carriage number as well, but they didn't work always that well. Within some open carriages there will be a screen at the end of the carriage that will host basic route information. This is mainly within the first class. Like I mentioned before, tickets always do include a seat reservation for these trains, so it's not possible to sell more tickets as there are seats available. Even if you're traveling with the use of a rail pass, like for example Interrail, like we did, you need to make a reservation. The price for a seat reservation if you're traveling with Interrail is really low though, it's only €3. Ticket prices are based on the demand of passengers for these trains, so the more people will book a specific train, the fuller it is, the higher the ticket price will be. This is just to spread out passengers as much as possible over different kinds of trains. The second class seats that do face each other do have a table you can fold out, there's a power plug at the side. All windows, also in first class by the way, do have a sunscreen, and just like in the first class, there are reading lights and you find the seat numbers right below the luggage racks. Speaking of which, there is a lot of space for your luggage in the overhead luggage racks, but just like in the first class, between the back ends of the seats you can also store quite a lot of luggage, although it's not as much as in the first class between the seats. And therefore you find, like I mentioned before, the bigger luggage racks at the middle of these carriages. You can store quite a lot of stuff over here as well. The occasional airline styles or long distance bus composition seats do have a fold out table in the seat in front of you, the power plugs are between the seats, a small garbage can is at the side. All seats by the way can be reclined with the use of this handle under the seat. And like I mentioned before, there's no dining car, but you find a trolley service instead. For now, I'll show you some views from the train between La Spezia and Milano Centrale. The nicest view will be on the left side in direction of traveling and will be between La Spezia and Genova. Of course, if you're traveling the other way around, the nicest view will be from Genova to La Spezia and will be on the right side in direction of traveling.
Let's run, run, run around. Heart
So, we're now in Milan. We dumped our stuff in the hotel. There will be another video where I feature the railway station of Milan. I already did this in an older video. You can find them in the description of this video. Right now we will play touristy here. I hope you like this video. If you do so,
give a thumbs up.
Yeah, give a thumbs up, and when you like to see more train related videos, subscribe to my channel. See you on my next video.